Okay, my friends, gathering data today. I want to know anyone that's had the coronavirus and what their dietary habits were, what pre-existing conditions they had, and specifically if they had been taking probiotics before they got it and if they had taken any once they got it and if that had any effect. I'm gathering data. Do not delete this. I am a researcher. I have a bunch of people that have been looking into my research, 140 highly cited papers, and a lot of papers are picking up on the research I've been doing. Now, I'm just going to go quickly into my background, then we're going to try to understand this coronavirus, what possibly can be done to intervene. Is there anything we can do? And what is related to the dietary habits? Because I have found in my research, not that I'm not telling anybody to do anything, but what I have found in my research is that virtually every disease has its origin in enzymes. They're not there, or the ones that are there are actually viruses. Enzymes and viruses are the same thing. Enzymes break down digestive things and create food that you can digest and eat, and it can be incorporated into your bloodstream. And they also, enzymes, create, protecting chemicals that kill invaders. That's what enzymes do. They're catalysts. They create molecules, huge molecules. Well, where's the enzymes come from? They come from bacteria. Where does the bacteria come from? It lives in your membranes. If you have killed that bacteria, or that bacteria is dead, or it's not vital enough to respond, you will be sick and not be able to respond to viruses, to all kinds of things. You won't have the food sources that you need to make your body structurally sound, to give you energy, to provide all of the nutrition that makes your body work. I am a researcher. I'm not telling you to do anything specific. So do not remove this. This is very, very important that I get this information. And before I get into this, I just want to explain. I have been doing this for 50 years or more, and very deeply. This is about light energy and the nature of light, the particle-like nature of light, which I was trying to explain 50 years ago in extreme detail. And I mean, I have this. I did everything you could do in the electronic and the chemistry realm at that specific time. There was basic rules. There was all kinds of different theories of atomic structure and the Bohr model and all of that stuff. And I did it all. So I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you that I understand this, and I kept up with it. I didn't just drop it and walk away from it. So I started at the beginning, and here I am at the end, and I think I have the answers now. And I just want to tell you, it's electronic flood theory. Electrons are the only thing that exists. They construct protons and neutrons. 1837 electrons equals 1 proton. 1838 is the neutron. And they become stable at those frequencies of quantities. The frequency stabilizes. And they just seem to come, at 1837, it adds another unit. And those are what we call atoms. Different molecules, different atomic particles, elements. But in between every one of these, there's thousands and thousands of electrons, which allows for your isotopes and all the other variations they could never account for before. So that's the starting point. And what happened was, knowing this stuff, when I retired, I found things that were related to human biology, and then I started to try to understand how all of this works in the human biological system, which is amino acids and proteins and your viruses and all that stuff has its root right there. Okay, like I said, I do chemistry and very deep molecular chemistry, and I wanted to find out what affects what in your body, because every single thing you eat becomes you. Now, how does it do that? You can't just take a carrot and you eat the carrot and it becomes a finger. Something has to happen in between there. It has to take that product, break it down, turn it into something else that services and builds your body. And this is right here, Mayo Clinic, prebiotics and probiotics. These are the things that create your body structure. The prebiotics and the probiotics take products that you eat and then they convert them by turning them into different materials using bacteria. All right, so this is what I want to find out. What are your diet habits? If you have not been sick, do you eat well? Do you are you overweight? Do you have diabetes? All of these different things, all of these different diseases, literally everything, Crohn's disease, almost all of that is related to deficiencies in your body or over enzymes. In other words, enzymes that are there from bacteria that's not being regulated correctly. Bacteria is going to be in your body, good and bad, 100%. Everybody has it, both of them. No way to stop it. The only thing you can do is regulate it. And your body regulates that using the good bacteria to fight the bad bacteria. And it's a balance, it's a game, it's a dance. And if one partner dies, the other one takes control and just goes insane. And that's what happens when the bad bacteria takes over. And this coronavirus apparently, and again, this is all research, I'm not telling you to do anything or don't do anything. It appears that this coronavirus has some enzyme being produced by some bacterial species. And that enzyme attacks the rubbery substances of tissues in your lungs that do this all day long, in your heart that does this all day long, in your blood vessels that do this all day long. If they can't do that and they break, blood pours into your brain, you get arterial clogging and all kinds of problems. And your lungs can't get air, your heart stops beating, you're dead. And this happens as you get older and older and older, you become more and more and more susceptible to these issues. And most people, as they age, have been going to doctors and being treated for things, and a lot of times they're giving them antibiotics, which kills these little microbes and these probiotics that are in your membranes, in your gut and everything. And then you can't function, you can't do the job. They're not there to be stimulated to create products. And here's how they create the products. All right, here's how the whole sequence happens. This is Gokal. And I believe he's with Caltech, I'm not sure. And it said, you could come up and watch this. It says, your textbooks are wrong. This is what cells actually look like. And this is how cells actually function. This is from Seeker. And this guy's name is Gokal. He's a researcher. Now, he's going to talk about 3 different types of bacteria. One of them is the scout. It looks for who's going to be causing trouble, and then it alerts the brain. The brain sends down a signal to the bacteria. The bacteria creates enzymes. The enzymes go into the bloodstream, kill the thing that they want to kill, so you don't become sick. Now, if you don't have the bacteria in your cells, you're not going to create the products. If you don't have the correct nutritional products in your body, you have nothing to create with. So whether you get the signal, here's how it starts. You have to be alerted to there's a problem. That's the bacteria in your gut that says, hey, we just got invaded by something. Or it's in your bloodstream, wherever. It's a mechanism that is a sensor. Now, once it triggers, the brain has to say, do we recognize this thing that's trying to invade us? And if it does get recognized, it goes to a place, it's called your CPG islands. It's in what we think is the junk DNA. It's not. It's the program center. And it looks for a program. It says, oh, there's the program that controls that particular bad guy. Send it down to lactobacillus Acidophilus and tell him to start pumping out a ton of that stuff. And it goes back down. And if that bacteria is there, the Acidophilus, it says start pumping it out, pump, 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 and that thing just zip, 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 shoots out these things into the bloodstream, which are called enzymes. These enzymes are not alive; they are programs. They hit the cell because they have an address attached to that molecule. And the address says, when you see this particular molecule attached to it, then send your payload in there, which is the antibody, and it goes in and kills it creates more and more it creates more and more enzymes to kill more and more of these invaders. And it just flushes through the system and kills them all. And they just keep breaking them. These enzymes don't get destroyed themselves. They break one, they go to the next one, break that one, they go to the next one, they break that one, and they do this all day long until all of them are broken, and then they just die by themselves. But absolutely elegant. Now, what do you need? You need those parts to be in place. You need the bacteria to create the enzymes. The bacteria has to be in good shape, otherwise it's not going to have powerful enzymes. It's not going to be strong enough to do its job. You have to have the amino acids, which the amino acids are products broken down from the things you eat into these little packages called amino acids, and then they reassemble them into a string of molecules that is so elegant you won't even believe it, and then it all coils up, and then it goes into the bloodstream and it finds its target. Case closed. Now watch, here's what happens.
Again, the hair on my hands just stood up. It's a microscopic universe.
They just figured this out about a year ago.
This is an unprecedented view of this.
Now, I just want, before she goes, this is the white blood cell. There's all kinds of bacteria living in there. It's membrane bound. It's in these membranes. And then what'll happen is coming down from these vagus nerve signals, they'll say, hey, tell lactobacillus in there to start pumping. And it'll just go bang, 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 and it'll be creating elegant molecules that are so sophisticated, it's just absolutely unbelievable how sophisticated they are. And they create them instantly. And they are so powerful, these little packages that they create, that when they hit their target, boom, they do literally what would take hundreds of years in open space, they do within less than a second. Because they're catalysts. They instantly go and break down and change all of the little particles in here. That's why I studied this so deeply. They go in and go and all of these things change around. And now you got all different products now. Not even the same thing anymore. Totally different. And if you don't have these catalysts produced by these enzymes, you cannot do this. So if you have an invading molecule that needs to be attacked by an enzyme, and you don't have the bacteria to create the enzyme, or you don't have the amino acids and the molecules that can be assembled into the enzyme, you're dead. There's nothing you can do. Now let's watch. I'm just going to let him speak and show this whole thing, and I'll try to be quiet.
Cellular world, where we can actually see immune cells scooping up sugars in the ear of a zebrafish in real time.
That's the enzyme.
Only on the crawling immune cells. We've noticed two classes of them. One was not hungry at all, but it was very active in terms of trying to figure out, what the environment is. There was another one that was kind of slouching around with a lot of food in its belly.
All right. The first thing was the receptor that realizes we got a problem. The second one was the enzyme creator, bacteria.
Actually conceptualized and visualized and analyzed the contents of each of these cellular compartments in this crawling immune cell as it's kind of scooping up its environment. I mean, that is a level of details no one's seen before.
We're living in a new era of cell.
All right, that's enough to go. But now they're beginning to be able to see these things in real time, actually attacking, being attacked, creating, breaking, they all the way down to the molecular level. Very exciting stuff. And this is the first time, and it says, your textbooks are wrong. they've guessed at almost everything. And I'm going to tell you right now, the guesses were way off, way off. And basically, they're backwards. That's what I have found in my research, is that the it's really a backwards thing. It's the digestive system that causes your issues. And if your digestive system isn't right, you can have all kinds of problems, not just COVID, not just COPD, and not just Crohn's disease, and not just congestive heart failure, and all these things, diabetes, not one single disease can you put in to the browser and say, this disease and digestive disorders. When you do that, you will find out that it says, yeah, whenever you get that disease, it causes this digestive disorder. No, it doesn't. The digestive disorder is related to the disease and causes the disease, not the other way around. So if you intervene with probiotics and prebiotics and get your digestive system back in order, right away, there's a lot of stuff that just can't attack you anymore because you have the ability to respond so quickly using these probiotics and prebiotics that it can't hurt you. But once you cannot respond to these things because you've taken antibiotics or for some other reason it's killed the probiotics that are in you, it may have helped you and killed the invader as well, yes. And you may have stopped suffering that particular disease, but you've opened yourself up to a lot of things if it's killed non-selectively all kinds of probiotics that are in your body. You have to have them. So these are the kind of things I'm talking about. And this is just research. And I want to know, and I'm gathering research. I'm not saying take this, don't take that, yada, yada, yada. I want to know, what are you doing right now? The key to my whole research investigation is the probiotics. I say in my research, and I'm not going to say this as a statement, I'm going to say this as a conclusion of what I have seen and what I have drawn from what I have researched, is that good probiotic, having a good digestive system, let's go with that. Having a good digestive system, your poop comes out right, your urine is the right color, you're regular, everything's good, you're fine. As far as I'm concerned, that is a perfectly running system of digestion and breakdowns of food and having the ability in your gut to respond. That's a functioning digestive system. When you always have diarrhea or cramps or gut distress or gas or all these different things, and oh man, it's just gut disorders. That means something's not right. You're not digesting the food correctly. It's reacting where it should have been acted upon. It's acting against you now. And then once you have an invasion of some kind of bacteria, like this COVID, you don't have the response ability because you don't have any probiotics in you that are the ones that respond by creating the products that can attack these things that are attacking you. Now, so what am I trying to get out of this? What do I need from you? I need to know if you have been taking probiotics and you have gotten COVID. If you have, I want to know what kind of probiotics you were taking. How often did you take them? Did you take them regularly? I want to know, because right now, I'm going to tell you right now, I have been asking for, since this COVID thing started, anybody taking probiotics regularly, and most of them, well, I won't say most, but a lot of people that have been watching my research, I've been talking about it for years, that the probiotics will relieve a lot of problems. It's a good starting point. Let's go with that. Because I related my own problem. I had a fistula, fistulas, after having antibiotics, and they were in my intestines, in my lower intestine or rectum area, and they had to do surgery twice. And nobody ever talked to me about probiotics, any of that. And then when finally I talked to this one guy, he said, oh, yeah, you take Metamucil, take, these probiotics, you'd be good. And absolutely it was. I've never had a problem since. So I'm not saying you should do that. Do whatever you want. But I just want to know what you do and what your responses have been. And then I can draw some kind of a database about this. That's all I'm asking for. All right? Thank you.